This is part 2 of my legendary series on Ono Shohei, going through his entire career. In this video we'll look at 2012 through to 2014. But this match here against Sandragal from Mongolia, this is from 2011. I didn't have it in my last video, but it works out well for the theme in this video. The Mongolians featuring pretty predominantly in this period of Ono Shohei's career, especially Sandragal. Ono Shohei ends up fighting him a couple of times. So yeah, we'll get into it. Make sure to like, subscribe, consider becoming a channel member if you really want to support the channel. This period, definitely a defining moment of Ono Shohei's career. I think he had some ups, he had some downs, world championship events as well. But here it is, this loss to Sandragal comes from a reverse Uchimata. I don't see this a lot these days, but the Mongolians, they definitely do it. And I think just earlier on in Ono Shohei's career, a couple of losses to a few Mongolians made him really respect their judo. I know he went and trained in Mongolia. He's got a deep appreciation and he knows a couple of the sumo guys here in Japan. And I definitely think he incorporated a lot of what they do into his game as well. But earlier on, he definitely had some hard times with the Mongolians. But anyway, we're going to start with the Grand Slam in Paris 2013. But this is the Paris Grand Slam from 2012. Ono Shohei had an early exit. Won his first two matches, but then lost here to Sharipov by Wazari. So if there's one thing you need to know about the Japanese team, is they don't like you repeating the same mistake twice. So Ono, he avoided an early exit, made it all the way to the finals against Kashbata from Mongolia. As I said, it's a running theme in this video. And I couldn't find any of the other matches. We saw the Ippons against Darbalet in the semifinals. This is the final, obviously, but I couldn't find any of the earlier rounds. So if you have those videos somewhere, please let me know and I'll include it in the next one. But you can see, just like that match against Sandragal, Ono Shohei getting moved around a lot. And I don't think he likes these Mongolian groups at all. Just kind of didn't know how to approach them. Almost gets a score here, but Kashbata does so well to escape. And then in the next sequence, that reverse Uchimata again. Different grips to what Sandragal had, but still very, very similar technique. These days, I mean, they'd both probably get done for head diving here, but back in the day, this was totally fine. So a silver at Paris, and he also took out Nakia Riki at the 2012 Tokyo Grand Slam. You can see that in my previous video. Although Nakia Riki, he ended up winning the domestic tournament within Japan, kind of deciding the selections. And so what they did is they sent both Ono Shohei and Nakia Riki to the World Championships in Rio in 2013. Nakaya, he didn't make it to the podium, but Ono Shohei, on the other hand, this was probably his solidifying moment as the #1 seed for Japan at under 73. Just complete domination, and you could start to see that his techniques just getting a lot more refined. He started to really refine the Osotogari. You'll see that shortly. And his defense, I mean, just incredible defense against Wang here, winning by Shiro, just stopping every attempt that he had, going in for a Seoi Nage. Here's an attempt here, squashing it. And I definitely think one of the hallmarks of Ono Shohei later on in his career was just how good he was defensively. People just couldn't move him. And I think this was the beginning of that. Before this period, I mean, you saw the Mongolians kind of throwing him around a bit. But now, I mean, he just started to be, I guess, like a tree stump. Couldn't move him, and he just had incredible firepower. So here's that Osotogari. Just incredible. In this next match against Elmont, an OG of the game, ends up getting a Wazari against him here, Ono Shohei, and then has to bring it back. And sorry about the bad video quality here, guys. There's that Osotogari for a Wazari. And then we get a really nice look at this final Ippon, this Uchimata here. And come on, sensational, right? But the incredible Ippons didn't stop there. In the final, Ono Shohei throwing Legrand twice. Bit of an overthrow here with the Uchimata. But then this next one, probably one of the greatest Ippons of Ono Shohei's career. I'm sure we've all seen this at some point. Just a huge Uchimata. Have a look at some other camera angles. Look at the lift and the control. And I'll tell you what, to do it with that grip, that top grip like that, and to get that lift and control, I mean, that's something special. incredible stuff. So Ono Shohei, that was the final. That was the final Ippons, solidifying himself as world champion. And he would be on top of the world for sure. There was also a team events at the World Championships. This is 2013. And against Sharipov here, who he actually lost against. We saw that earlier on in the video. 2012 Paris Grand Slam, lost to Wazari. And Sharipov doing really well to pick up Ono Shohei here in several attempts. I mean, you definitely would not have seen that later on in Ono Shohei's career. I believe his feet never left the mat, to be honest. I mean, this is just incredible to see him. I mean, he's not throwing him, but just incredible to see someone pick up Ono Shohei like that. And so Ono Shohei gets his revenge. Big driving Osoto here. Gets a Wazari. And then he doesn't stop there. He wants to seal the deal. Nice Uchimata. And I mean, you've just been crowned world champion, so I'm sure there's a lot of confidence running through those veins. Definitely wanted to get that one back. Incredible Uchimata. This little clip here, this was 2014, where Ono Shohei, he won the Japanese selection competition, beating out Nake Ariki again here in this clip. And it's kind of weird, I mean, being world champion, I think these days they probably wouldn't have done this, to be honest. I think Ono Shohei probably would have been exempt from having to actually participate in this tournament, but he was there, solidified his place once again, and then he went on to the World Championships in 2014. I'm not too sure if there was some injury or something during this period, but to go from one World Championships to the next, no Grand Slams in between, very, very interesting. So here he is against Sandragal, and Sandragal, he lost to him early in 2011. We saw that at the beginning of the video, and here he is trying that reverse Uchimata, but Ono Shohei trying to pick him up. Osoto into Uchimata. And I think at this point, Ono Shohei was a much different judoka to 2011 Ono Shohei. I think Sandragal, he could feel it, feel the strength. And Ono Shohei definitely learned how to deal with the Mongolian grips. But yes, 2 Shidos to Sandragal, and back in the day, if you had 2 Shidos to your name when the time went out, that would be the end of the contest. And you can see a bit of respect here given from Ono Shohei. These two really great rivals back in the day, and it wouldn't be the last time that they met. So in round 3, Lee, Ono Shohei comes up against Lee and gets done. He gets done with a nice Akuri Ashibarai. Lee set that up perfectly, going inside and then on the outside. You cannot deny that as an Ippon. Incredible stuff. So a big upset. World champion goes out, and it's Ono Shohei of all people. And it wouldn't be Lee who won that World Championships for that category. It was actually Nake Ariki. So Japan sent both of them out at under 73, and Nake Ariki winning it in 2014. Later that year we had the Grand Slam in Tokyo, and as you know, for domestic events they can send a lot more than 2 judoka for each weight category. But at under 73, Nakaya, he wasn't present. They actually sent Akimoto. So it was basically Ono Shohei and Akimoto. I don't think Akimoto needs an introduction. Legend by his own right. And check out this one, guys. I mean, these days with the head diving rule, I mean, Ono Shohei would be out, gone with that Uchimata. But a pretty good performance. Sore Suri attempt here. We didn't really see that in Ono Shohei's later years. The big Osoto into Taniatoshi. He also stopped doing that too. But yes, Ono Shohei and Akimoto ended up making it to the finals. Ono Shohei took out An Chang-nim as well. So another person entering the fray at under 73, keeping Ono Shohei on his toes. But in this final, I think we all know what happened. Akimoto gets a score. So Ono Shohei losing at the World Championships in 2014, losing at the Tokyo Grand Slam in 2014. Just a lot of guys, Akimoto, Nake Ariki, An Chang-nim, keeping him on his toes, also the Mongolians. So I definitely think if it wasn't for these strong rivalries back in the day, Ono Shohei wouldn't have turned into the man that he did. So that's it, guys. What do you think? 2012 to 2014. Pretty interesting period in Ono Shohei's career. Ending on a low, ending on a loss. But it can only be uphill from here. So anyway guys, stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you later. Peace.